Racist waiter throws water at pregnant black woman. Not knowing. Beginning. The year was 2147, and the Earth had become a planet of fractured quality. Technology had leapt centuries ahead. Hover trams gliding over magnetic rails, sky farms feeding millions, and androids serving as both companions and laborers. Yet beneath all the glittering progress, humanity still wrestled with its oldest disease, prejudice. Dr. Amara Fields, a brilliant xenobiologist from the African Coalition of Nations, carried more than life within her womb. She carried the future of two species. At 32, Amara had made history by being part of the first human alien genetic research project sanctioned by the United Earth Council. Her husband, Kale, was not human. He was from the distant world of Elantria, a peaceful race known for their luminous silver skin and empathic minds. Their union had been controversial from the start. Interspecies marriages were still taboo in much of the world, even after the Valantrians helped humanity rebuild following the resource wars. But Amara and Kale had chosen love over fear. And now, their unborn child was the first hybrid of human and Valantrian DNA. The couple had returned to Earth temporarily. Amara for a symposium in New Atlanta, the world's leading biotech city, and Kale to attend a diplomatic summit. On this warm evening, Amara ventured out alone to a local eatery, the Glass Vine, craving something familiar, a taste of old Earth cooking before her next trip to the orbital colony. She wore a simple brown dress that hugged her swollen belly, her dark skin glinting under the neon glow of the city lights. Inside the restaurant, people turned to look, some with curiosity, some with quiet contempt. The waiter, Derek Halls, noticed her immediately. A tall, pale man with slicked hair and tired eyes. Derek had been working at the Glass Vine for 10 years, and he was known for his attitude. He didn't like off-worlders, and he didn't like anyone who didn't fit the look of his idea of respectable customers. When Amara smiled politely and asked for a table, Derek barely glanced up. "We're full tonight," he muttered. Amara looked around. There were at least 6 empty tables. "I see several open," she said softly. "Reserved," Derek replied. Amara hesitated, her hand on her belly. "I just need a quiet spot. I'm pregnant and—" Derek's lips curled. "Yeah, I can see that." From behind the counter, another server whispered, "Just give her a seat, man." But Derek's pride and prejudice flared. "Fine. Sit wherever," he said curtly. Amara thanked him gently, unaware that her calm politeness only seemed to enrage him further. She took a seat by the window, watching the neon hover cars streak across the skyline. As she ordered a simple vegetable stew, she felt a faint flutter of movement inside her. Her baby, their baby. She smiled and whispered, "We're almost there, little one." But Derek had already decided to make her regret sitting in a section. Middle. As Amara waited for her meal, Derek carried out drinks to another table, all smiles and charm. But when he approached hers, his demeanor changed. He slammed the glass of water down so hard that it splashed across the table. Some of it splattered onto Amara's arm and dress. "Oops," he said with an exaggerated grin. "Guess my hand slipped." Amara blinked, stunned. The cold liquid trickled down her arm. "That was unnecessary," she said evenly. "Maybe you shouldn't bring aliens into my city," he muttered under his breath. Her eyes widened. "Excuse me? I said maybe you shouldn't come here showing off that alien spawn." The restaurant went silent. Conversations died mid-sentence. A few people stared in disbelief. Others looked away, pretending not to hear. Amara's breathing quickened. "That's enough. I'd like to speak to your manager." Derek sneered, leaning in close. "Lady, I'm the manager tonight." Before she could respond, he picked up the glass and, in a cruel, deliberate motion, threw the remaining water directly in her face. Gasps rippled across the room. Amara froze, dripping and trembling. Then something extraordinary happened. The pendant around her neck, a small silver orb given to her by Kale, began to hum. A soft light expanded from it, shimmering blue and gold, wrapping around her like a shield. Derek stumbled back, eyes wide. What is that?" The air vibrated with energy no one had ever felt before. The pendant projected a holographic image. Kale's face, his silver features glowing with calm intensity. "Amara, are you harmed?" The entire restaurant gasped. Amara wiped her face, whispering, "I'm fine, Kale." Derek backed away. Who the hell was happening? Kale's holographic eyes turned toward him. Though thousands of kilometers away, his telepathic connection to Amara's pen allowed him to sense Derek's aggression, his malice. "You have attacked a representative of the United Earth Coalition. Stand down." Derek's mouth opened, but no words came out. "Representative?" Someone whispered from a nearby table. Amara stood slowly, her hand over her stomach. "I told you I just wanted a meal, but you couldn't see a human being, only your hate." Her pendant pulsed again. Suddenly, several patrons' devices, phones, wrist screens, retinal HUDs, lit up with an emergency alert. The message read, "Alert. Dr. Amara Fields, Human Belantrian Liaison, assault report logged, local authority en route." Within seconds, the sound of hover sirens filled the air outside. Derek's face turned pale. No, this isn't what it looks like. She tricked me." 2 security drones entered the restaurant, scanning the scene. One projected a red cone of light over Derek, freezing him in place. "Citizen Derek Halls," a mechanical voice said, "you are under arrest for assault in violation of the Anti-Xenophobia Accord." He struggled, but the drone's gravity field held him fast. As the officers arrived, human and android, the crowd erupted in murmurs. Some filmed, some apologized, others left in shame. Amara sat quietly as an officer approached. Dr. Fields, are you all right? We were notified immediately by your security network. She nodded, her voice trembling slightly. I'm fine, but I want to press charges. And I want this recorded, not for me, but for every other person who's been treated like this without a pendant, without a title. The officer bowed slightly. Understood, doctor. But what no one realized was that the pendant had done more than send an alert. It had transmitted the entire incident, visual, audio, emotional resonance, directly to the Volantrian embassy. Kale had seen everything. The twist. Hours later, the restaurant was sealed for investigation. Reporters swarmed outside. On the global news feeds, the headline blazed. Pregnant human Volantrian scientist assaulted in New Atlanta restaurant. Incident sparks outcry. Amara sat in her hotel room, wrapped in a blanket, while Kale appeared beside her as a shimmering hologram. My love, he said softly, you should not have gone alone. She managed a faint smile. I didn't think eating dinner would start an interplanetary incident. Kale's expression darkened. The council will not ignore this. We offered peace, and still your people treat our union as a threat. Amara reached out, her hand passing through projection. Not my people. Some of them. You know as well as I do. Hate doesn't vanish overnight. He studied her. And the child. She placed a hand on her belly. Strong. Confused, maybe, but strong. Kale hesitated. The council has asked me to retrieve you. They fear this could ignite unrest. The old factions are already using it as propaganda. Amara shook her head. If I leave now, they win. If I stay, maybe someone sees what really happened. That even in the most advanced century, kindness must still be fought for. Kale's hologram flickered. You always choose a harder path. She smiled faintly. That's how progress works. What Amara didn't know was that Derek's act had triggered something far greater than a local scandal. The Volantrian Empathic Network, a psychic system linking millions across light years, had felt her fear. They had felt Kale's anger, her pain, the child's confusion. Across the galaxy, the Volantrian Assembly held an emergency session. They debated whether Earth was truly ready for the interspecies alliance. Some argued for withdrawal, others for patience. And amidst it all, Amara's story spread. Not through official channels, but through the empathy of countless beings who felt her suffering. Ending. 3 days later, the glass vine reopened under new management. Derek was in custody, awaiting trial. His outburst had become a symbol of everything wrong with Earth's struggle toward equality. Meanwhile, Amara prepared for her next conference. This time, not as a scientist, but as a speaker for the Global Council on Ethical Coexistence. The auditorium overflowed with people, humans, androids, and a few brave Volantrians. Cameras streamed the event to billions. She stepped onto the stage, her belly round and radiant, the pendant glinting under the lights. When I walked into that restaurant, she began, her voice calm but powerful, I didn't expect to become a headline. I didn't expect to be humiliated for being different. But in that moment, when hate met ignorance, something extraordinary happened. Truth was revealed. She paused, scanning the audience. My husband once told me that Volantrians don't understand the concept of racism. They evolved past it before they learned to travel the stars. To them, difference is beauty. To us, difference has often been a reason to destroy. She took a deep breath. But that day I realized something. The man who threw water at me didn't see a scientist or a mother or a person. He saw what he was told to see. Fear disguised as pride. Ignorance disguised as humor. Silence filled the room. And yet, she continued, I forgave him. Not because he deserved it, but because my child deserves a world better than the one we inherited. A world where no one is judged by skin or species, by accent or ancestry. Her pendant shimmered, projecting an image of Kale beside her. Standing tall, dignified, his silver form radiating light. The crowd gasped as his voice echoed across the hall. And we stand with her. Always. Applause thundered through the chamber. Amara smiled. The future doesn't belong to those who cling to hate. It belongs to those who dare to imagine something kinder. As she stepped off the stage, Kale appeared in person, teleporting via the embassy's portal. He took her hand. The cameras flashed wildly. Behind them, a massive holographic banner appeared, showing their unborn child's DNA sequence. Half human, half Volantrian, intertwined like a symbol of hope. That image spread across the world. It appeared on murals, school walls, and digital billboards. The phrase beneath it became a new anthem for the era. Not knowing we are one. Months later, Amara gave birth aboard the orbital station Unity Prime. The child, a girl named Naira, had soft brown skin that glimmered faintly silver under certain light, and eyes that shifted colors with emotion. Scientists and diplomats from across the galaxy came to witness her arrival. But for Amara and Kale, she wasn't a political statement. She was their daughter, proof that love was the most powerful force in the universe. As Amara held Naira for the first time, she whispered, You'll grow up in a world that's still learning how to love, but maybe you'll help it learn faster. Outside the station window, Earth rotated in silence, scarred, beautiful, striving. And far below in a prison cell, Derek Halls sat watching the broadcast of Amara's speech. For the first time, he felt something strange, not anger, but shame. He turned off the screen, staring at his reflection. I didn't know, he murmured. I really didn't know. Above him, a holographic advertisement shimmered. The same image of Amara and Kale, their hands joined, their child's DNA glowing between them. Not knowing we are one. And for a fleeting moment, even Derek believed it might be true.